welcome to Hetty Feather Soundtrack Part 2. Today I'm going to be reading you Hetty Feather, and this is Part 2. Okay, so I'm going to get it. Hetty Feather. Chapter 1. Page 4. "I'll always love you," she whispered right into my ear. Then she clambered out of the cab, clutching me close. She said a few words to the cabman and walked over to the tall gateway. She murmured to the gatekeeper so softly that she had to repeat herself. Then the gate creaked open, and we stepped inside. There must have been other mothers and other infants, because I heard wailing all around us. My mother and I stood in front of a long polished table where a line of solemn men sat and asked questions. My mother answered, and I whimpered dolefully. Then we were led to a room with a bright gaslight overhead. I blinked and tried to burrow into my mother's breast, but large cold hands snatched me away from her. I was laid on my back on a hard table. My shawl was tugged away. My beautiful white dress was unbuttoned and taken from me. Both my petticoats were pulled over my head. They even removed my napkin, so I was lying there stark naked. The hard hands turned my head from side to side, prodded my belly, moved my arms and legs about while I protested vigorously, screaming my head off. Then the hands wrapped me in strange coarse clothing, not mine at all. They picked me up and carried me away. My arms and legs were too small and weak to punch and kick. All I could do was scream. I screamed and screamed and screamed for my mother, but she wasn't there anymore. I was being carried down endless corridors in the vast building away from my mother forever. I was bound so tightly within the scratchy woolen shawl that I couldn't move. I was laid on my back in an iron cot, still screaming. I cried for my mother, but she didn't come to rescue me. I cried for my own soft, familiar clothes, but I stayed stuck in these harsh, worn garments, reeking of carbolic. I tried for the comfort of my thumb, trapped inside the shawl. I cried for gentle arms and warm, sweet milk. Now, what a terrible noise. You're disturbing all the other babies. What are you crying for, said one of the nurses, picking me up. What did she think I was crying for? I was only a few days old and I'd lost everything I loved. No wonder I howled, but she meant it kindly enough. She held me against her flat, starched chest and patted my back as if the problem was just a little trapped wind. There, nearly time for your feed, she said. She put me down again and I cried harder. I only quietened a few seconds and someone plucked me once from my cot. I desperately hoped they were about to return me to my mother, but the hands that held me were cuddly, capable, not tender and stroking. A bottle was thrust into my mouth. My lips perked so I would not suck. It tasted wrong. It was my mother. I choked and tried to spit it out. This one's a hopeless feeder. She's tiny as it is. I don't know why they accepted her. She's not long for this world. They'll have to christen her quick or she'll be off to Limo Land, said the other. Let me try her. I'll make her feed. I was pressed over promptly, and the bottle poked harder against my mouth. I kept my lips pressed together, she pinched my nose, so I had to open my mouth to breathe. I yelled furiously. This mean prick. Temper. Never mind, Limo-land, she's a little imp from hell. From hell, she said, giving me a shake. Take the bottle, good girl. You don't want to starve, do you? I didn't care whether I lived or died. I could not be with my mother. I cried all day till my throat was raw, and I shook all over, but it was no use. She still didn't come. There were other babies crying too, though not as loudly as instantly as me. I couldn't see them. I was stuck on my back, but I could hear them. I heard them sucking and sighing after the hateful hands had lifted them from their cots. Won't you feed too, poor little lamb? This was a gentler voice, with smaller, softer hands. She wasn't my mother, but she cradled me almost as carefully. She didn't ram the choking bottle into my mouth straight away. She took a few drops of milk onto her finger and stroked it against my lips. I opened my mouth and sucked. Ah, good, isn't it? Some more? She gave me some more drops on her finger, and I sucked it dry. She did this again and again. When I opened my mouth eagerly for more, she edged the bottle very cautiously against my lips. I could not resist sucking. I felt the sweet milk splashing down my sore throat. I did not like the feel of the bottle, but I ate with hunger and thirst. So I sucked and sucked. My, look at Winnie with 25629. 25629. She's got her sucking away. A treat now. So the kind nurse is called Winnie, and 25629 seemed to be my no-num. I was not old enough to understand numbers, but the long sound was harsh, and I hated it. However, before long I was given yet another name. I was dressed in gown so stiff with starch that I stretched out rigidly, scarcely held to draw breath. I was carried to a new place, vast and echoing with strange windows that played patterns of red and blue on the stone floor. There was solemn talk, and then a voice addressed me. I christen you Hetty Feather, he said, and sprinkled icy water on my forehead. I cried, trying to tell him that I didn't wish to be called Hetty Feather. My real name at all, but my real name was... I couldn't speak yet, so I simply screamed, and someone tutted me, scoldingly, whispering I was a bad example to other babies. But I paused for breath and heard copycat wails. I took suffocation. In the fact that no one else could achieve anywhere near my volume, as that I was so small. I was carted back to the sleeping room in disgrace. Gentle Winnie was there and rocked me gently. Hello, little Hetty. No need to cry so. There now, I'll take the christening robe off and I'll fix a bottle for you. I was soon smooth, though I hiccuped a little as I gulped my milk. Winnie laughed and hiccuped too, teasing me. I peered up at her, trying hard to focus. She had rosy red face with hair escaping from her cap. She wasn't my special root. She wasn't like my mother, but perhaps Winnie could be a second mother to me now. I was too small to even far, but I fixed my blue eyes on her. She looked back, doing the smiling for both of us. All the other babies were wailing now, demanding attention, but Winnie still held me, whispering my name, Little Heavy Feather. Well, you're as light as a feather, and no mistake. She whirled me round and round, so I whirled too. We danced around the iron cot. I felt as if I was flying. I willed Winnie to whirl us out the door away from the chill, puzzling prison. But another nurse spoke to her sharply, and she put me back in my little bed, both of us breathless. I didn't cry for my mother that night, though I still thought of her longingly, but I consoled myself with the thought that I'd see Winnie in the morning and every morning after that. I couldn't have been more wrong. The next day, new hands fed me, bathed me, and then dressed me in my comfortable clothes. The shawl had wound extra tightly and knotted the ends, so I assembled a small wooden parcel and like a parcel, I was picked up, carried along the corridors, taken outside the huge door and posted into a waiting cab. I was stuffed in a large blanket, peddled with rags. I lay there, too stunned to even scream. What was happening to me now? I wanted Winnie. I wanted my mother. My heart started beating fast. I nearly burst through my shawl. Were they taking me back to my mother? Okay, so that's all I'm going to read today. So, stay with me. Please like, comment and subscribe. And if you are watching this now, then part 3 will be coming soon. Okay. Bye everyone, thank you for watching my video. And please go and check out all my other videos as well. Bye.